Hi, my name is Jeff Boyce, and I have been a Colorado Springs and Denver and Fort Collins realtor for the past 21 plus years, and I wanted to give you an update post-COVID, as we like to call it. 2020 was a terrible year with the COVID and Colorado Springs real estate market, especially the number of homes that went up in price at an astronomical rate, which I'm going to cover here in this video. So if you're getting ready to relocate to the Colorado Springs area, give me a call at 303-622-5700 and let's discuss your relocation options. It's kind of difficult down here trying to find homes right now. There just aren't very many for sale. As a matter of fact, here in Colorado Springs, there's only 98 active listings under $700,000. Isn't that crazy? Only 98 listings, so it's a little bit challenging right now, which I'm going to explain. However, the good news is that homes are still starting at about $269 down here, which isn't too bad, but really to get something nice, you're probably gonna have to start at about $300,000 or more. So let's talk about home sales here in Colorado Springs for like the last 3 months. And let me give you an update on the top 5 selling zip codes in Colorado Springs. It's really interesting is that most people choose these 5 zip codes because the houses are affordable and you can still get a really nice newer home there, which is a pretty decent value for your money. The #1 selling zip code in Colorado Springs and El Paso County is 80911. It sells 20% more homes than the #2 selling zip code. And the subdivisions in 80911 include Fountain Valley Ranch, Security, Widefield Country Club, Sunset Ridge, and Painted Sky Waterview. In zip code 80911, the median price, if you average all of those zip codes, was $330,000, which makes it still affordable down in Colorado Springs. And by median price, I mean half of the homes in 80911 sold below $330,000, and then the other half sold above $330,000. That's where we come up with a median price. One of the biggest questions I get when people call me is, Jeff, why are Colorado Springs appreciating so fast? What's causing homes to go up in price so fast? And the answer to that is kind of twofold. #1 is, believe it or not, we have almost the identical amount of new homes listed for sale as we did a year ago. So as crazy as it sounds, we still have in Colorado Springs the same number of homes that are coming on the market. So if you take like the last 3 months, it's literally identical to a year ago. So that means that #2, we've got double or triple the amount of people relocating here and wanting to move. As a matter of fact, people relocating here aren't just coming from out of state. We're still getting a huge amount of people from the Denver metro area that are able to work at home and able to come down to Colorado Springs and purchase a much less expensive home and get the same value or same size or bigger of a home or newer of a home than what they're able to get in the Denver metro area. So we're getting relocation, probably 400% more people looking at homes, but we still only have about the same amount of home inventory. Does that make sense? So to give you an idea on that, I broke down the statistics, and in the last 3 months, we've had 2,718 new home listings here in Colorado Springs. And again, the problem is we've probably got 2 or 3 times that amount of people looking for those homes. So that's what's causing all the bidding on prices on homes and homes going over or well over their list price. So again, if you're relocating out here, please give me a call. I've got to explain our Colorado Springs market. It is a very, very hot housing market, and you've got to understand it. because we've got to be pre-qualified or pre-approved for a loan, and you've got to understand that we don't want to go out on the weekends and compete with 30 to 60 showings on a single house on a Saturday and Sunday. The traffic through these houses is just insane, and it doesn't matter if we have COVID where we've got to have masks and gloves on anyways. We're still getting 30 to 60 people through the most popular homes under 500,000 every single weekend. It's nuts. The number 2 best-selling zip code in Colorado Springs is 80923, and that includes Indigo Ranch, Ridgeview at Stetson, Sundown, and Wagon Trails. Super popular area, and our median home price in 80923 is $400,000. So you're getting a newer, little bit more expensive home there, but it is still the number 2 best-selling in Colorado Springs. The number 3 best-selling zip code in Colorado Springs is 80922, and that includes Stetson Hills and Chateau at Antelope Flats. Both of those are super popular places and are always in the top 5 best-selling zip codes in Colorado Springs for the last few years. The median price there is about $375,000, but the good news is there are a lot of much newer built homes there, so you're really getting a nicer, newer home there for your money with newer appliances and less maintenance problems anytime we get into the newer homes. The number 4 best-selling zip code in Colorado Springs is 80924, and that includes Wolf Ranch, Cordova, and Bradley Ranch, and there is a median home sales price of $535,000. So in our top 5 best-selling zip codes, it's actually our highest median price. The number 5 best-selling zip code in Colorado Springs is 80925. And that includes Carriage Meadows, the Meadows at Creekside, Creekside at Lorson Ranch, and Lorson Ranch East. Our median price there is $380,000, and that rounds out our top 5 best-selling zip codes in Colorado Springs. So the fourth thing that I wanted to cover with you today on this video is, can you really buy a Colorado Springs house with about $4,500 to $5,000 total cash out of pocket? And the answer is yes, you can still do that despite all the problems we've got with COVID and everything else going on. If you've got credit scores and this would be all borrowers purchasing the home, if you've got credit scores above a 640 and higher, we can do those down payment assistance loans. So for example, on a $400,000 home in Colorado Springs, instead of needing 3.5% down on an FHA loan, 3.5% would be $14,000. So instead of needing $14,000 down on these new down payment assistance loans that we can still do, you should only need about $4,500 to $5,000 total cash out of pocket. And that includes your down payment and your mortgage loan closing costs. Crazy, isn't it? So as tough as everything is with COVID-19 and all of the other problems that we have, we still have some fantastic loans available that my business partner and mortgage consultant Travis Press at Supreme Lending and I can do for you. And again, $4,500 to $5,000 total to buy a house is fantastic. We can actually go up to a purchase price of $510,000 on that program. Call us for details, 303-622-5700. There's no sense in putting down more money than you need on these homes if you don't have to. Thanks again, and I appreciate you subscribing to my videos, and like this if there was good information here. I really appreciate that. Thanks again.